What's happening, Carolina fans? Welcome to Two Fans in the Stands, a podcast related to all things Carolina Panthers and North Carolina Tar Heels. I'm your co-host Tony.
And I'm your co-host CJ.
Let's go. What's good, CJ? How was your weekend?
It'd have been a whole lot better if the Tar Heels would have won.
Man,
A
talk
whole lot
about it.
better.
Tell me
Man,
about it. I was shocked. That's my word for this morning. Shocked. I was
I'm
shocked.
pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I really
Okay.
am. And I hate to say this, but I call this. I call
Mm,
this in the preview. I said this has all the makings for a letdown game. All the makings for a letdown game.
yes,
Did
you
I really
did.
believe they was going to go out there and take what I said to heart and really do it? Hell no. I did not see them going out there and losing to Georgia Tech. I really didn't. But I would have been I'd have been a fool not to bring that up and say, it's a possibility, but I did not think it was going to happen. I mean,
I
that game pissed me all the way off.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about it because it didn't even cross my mind that this could even be a possibility. But after the game and I went back and I saw what you said in the preview, I was like, it makes sense. It makes sense because they already done clinched the Coastal Division. They're already going to the ACC championship game. They may be feeling good
Hmm.
about themselves and come
Yeah.
back home and yeah, it had the makings. It had the makings of it. It seemed like yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna get
Yeah.
into it. So hey, listen, what were your thoughts on the game?
It started off great. First play of the damn game on offense. 80-yard damn touchdown. Thing of beauty. Hole opened up
Right,
like the Red Sea. Elijah Green took off, turned on the afterburners, and was out. Okay.
right.
Then
That
Georgia
was
Tech
beautiful
missed
to
the
see.
yeah, Georgia Tech missed the field goal next possession. UNC punted, Georgia Tech punted. We got a field goal. Then on Georgia Tech's next possession, we got an interception. Then we turned the ball over on downs. They punted, and then we traded touchdown. So at the half, it was 17-7. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, bet. This ain't the best half in the world. We up by 10 points. We'll be all right. And then come out in the second half, and all of a sudden, and Georgia Tech went on drives. They had two touchdown drives in the second half, and let me see, 9 plays, 68 yards, 9 plays, 81 yards. And the touchdown drive in the first half was 9 plays, 84 yards.
They were all rushing touchdown, weren't they?
Let me see.
Yeah, because I don't think Zach Gibson threw a touchdown pass for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. Hold
yeah,
on,
they're
let me
all
see. Down
rushing
2 yard
touchdown.
run, 4 yard run. Yeah, 6 yard run. Yep, you're right. Yeah. Yep, they were
Wow.
all rushing touchdown. And then the crazy thing was there was a stretch later in the game where it was almost like UNC's defense forgot that Georgia Tech's running backs could go out of the backfield and catch the ball. They
They
left
just
them
lost sight
open.
of them, huh?
Yeah, they left them open so many plays, and then one of the plays that closed the game out was that exact same damn play. I want to say it was a fourth down and I think it was 4th and 3. The exact same play. Georgia Tech back goes to the left, sneaks out of the backfield. Quarterback throws in the ball. Now, mind you, they reviewed the play because he was probably the diameter of a couple of hairs off the out of bounds line. I
Right.
mean, like literally, he took a step, he went to turn, and his foot slipped and it slid. And I mean, it just stopped short of being out of bounds. And then when they
That
went and
boy.
reviewed the play, and I was like, oh crap, these damn camera angles. They literally had like one decent camera angle. And this is just me, and I say this for college, NFL as well. There's no reason they should not have cameras pointed down each sideline, to where you could see this type of stuff without having to go and look at all these weird camera angles trying to see if somebody's out of bounds, because you're
Right.
never going to see that, because at that camera angle there's no conclusive evidence to say yes they're out of bounds or yes they're in bounds. So whatever the play is on the field, that's what you got to go with. Now that's not the case every time,
Right.
but that,
Right.
that that's always been something that's kind of baffled me. And I'm just like, you spend all this money on all these the cameras hanging down and on the wire going across the stadiums
Sky
and this,
cam and
yeah, sky
ends up
cam.
pylon cam and
Yeah,
yeah.
and look, and then remember, oh, this is not college, but remember, Booger McFarland had the little camera on the rails, and
Yeah.
he had the TV behind him, so people could kind of see. He was blocking the people, but they had a picture of the game on the TV behind him when he got in front of. Now, mind you, that was
Yeah.
just dumb, but I just thought about that. But yeah, I mean, they always give you these whack ass camera angles, when plays really matter. And when I saw the angle and they kept going back to that one shot, and I was like, oh God, I was like, they're not going to overturn that. But and I mean, and it really didn't look like he had stepped out of bounds anyway. But
Right.
I'm sorry, I went off on a little bit of a tangent there. But
It's all right.
that very same play again. And like I said, it was fourth down and they got the first down. And then they just went about their business. They lined up and they just ran the ball down the Tar Heels throat and got the first down. That was game over.
So I have a question. I noticed that Josh Downs only had 3 receptions for 31 yards. What were they doing to, I guess you pretty much say, shut him down? What were they double teaming him, or were they putting a safety over the top? Or, what were they doing to Josh Downs to where he only had 3 catches for 31 yards?
I don't really think it was too much what they were doing to Josh Downs, but they were getting to Drake May, putting him on his butt. Offensive line had their worst performance of the year. And I said this also in the preview. Josh Downs was hurt the previous game. I think he had a couple
Okay.
injuries in that previous game. And I said that I wouldn't mind if they sat him down for this game, because I think he was hurt, and I think he was hurt again in this game too, and I think that could have contributed to him not getting as many catches, only having 3, and he just didn't look right.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
just
So you
he didn't look right the whole game, and especially you got that fourth down pass, and he's wide open, ball hits him right in the stomach, and just drops it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I saw. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. I was like, wow. Cause that did not
Yes,
look like a Josh Downs reception, or that just didn't look like him. So you think you
it
think
didn't.
you think they probably just had him out there as a decoy?
No, I don't think they had him out there as a decoy. Honestly, I think it was a combination of Georgia Tech went out there and they really wanted this game. But you could tell how they were playing. Their defensive linemen were all up in Drake May's face. All up in
Okay.
his face. They were getting after, especially late in the game. They were really getting after him. And they got after him bad. And they sacked him quite a few times. So, but I will take it back. I just don't think Josh Downs was right. I don't think he was 100%. I wouldn't even give him a
Right.
good 80. I might give him a smooth 65, 70. But
But dang, it
he was out there playing.
sound like he ain't had no business out there, like you said. If he was only at 65 or 70%, and in your estimation, he ain't had no business even out there.
I don't think he did. I honestly don't think he did. And like I said, I would have been cool if they would have sat him for this game. I would have been fine
Right.
with that. I really, really would have. But it just, and it was, we were up 10 at halftime. in the second half, they just couldn't get anything going at all. I
Mm,
mean,
mm, mm,
at
mm.
all. And Georgia Tech would just get the ball, and I mean, just down the field, down the field, down the field, touchdown. And once they got that momentum, that was a wrap. They were feeling it. They were feeling it. It was like they, and I mean, I want to say they lost their first and second string quarterback in the game. If I'm not mistaken, they got hurt. So
Georgia
they were
Tech
down
did?
to it. Yeah, they were down to their third string quarterback.
Wow. You know
Yeah.
what? Yeah, because Zach Gibson is not the normal
Mm-mm.
starter.
Nah.
Okay, yeah. And
Man.
the guy that transferred from Clemson, I can't I can't pronounce his last name. I'm not going to even attempt it. But
Yeah, I know.
Tayson,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
he
And
was a transfer from Clemson,
yeah, they lost quarterback. I think they lost a couple offensive linemen. But I mean, when I say next man up, they went out there and executed that to perfection. And
and
I
they
was just
still ran the ball 49 times.
yeah. Now
Wow.
Elijah Green had what 92 yards rushing, but
Yeah.
hell, 80 of it came on one play. And then the crazy thing is he had another touchdown, 68 yards. Got called back for holding.
Oh, I didn't know
Same
that.
the same deal as the first play of the game. He took it off the right sideline straight down the field. Next thing you know, holding offense. I'm like, oh man, come on. And then they ended up punting the ball.
Wow.
Yeah. When I say this was one pitiful performance by the Tar Heels, it was pitiful. It was really 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 pitiful.
So, do you think they have a good bounce back game this Friday against NC State? You know, this
They better.
senior night. You
They
know, our
better.
rivals last game of the
Hmm.
season before the championship game. You know, against Clemson.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a good bounce back game. What about you?
they better. They better. Because the thing is, okay, State doesn't need any extra motivation. This is our rival game. You know, it's the last game every year. They don't
Yeah.
need no extra motivation. They know
and
we
they
coming off.
a- and they playing a freshman backup quarterback.
Yeah, you know.
Hmm.
My thing is, they know we coming off of a loss, so they looking at us and like, okay, well they can be beat.
Yeah.
So they better figure something out because they they going to the ACC title game regardless. But if they
Right.
show up with two duds before that ACC title game, Clemson is going to blow them out of the water. Mark my words. You heard it here first, second, third, whatever from me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't really want to mark those words, but yeah, you're
I
right though.
will. I will. I will write them down on some notebook
No,
paper and mail them to you. I sure
I
will.
refuse. I
I
refuse.
sure
Return to
if they
sender.
don't if
Return
they
to
don't get
sender.
their shit together next week and continue putting the stuff together the way it's supposed to go, Clemson is going to run them right out of Bank of America Stadium, right up 85, right back to Chapel Hill.
Well, just like Mac Brown said, in the press conference, he was like, you know, I thought we had matured to the point where we wouldn't let something like this happen. I thought we were making progress enough to where we were prepared or be prepared for something like this. He said, clearly I was wrong. And that's something that I have
Yeah,
been saying all year long, especially from the defensive side. I was like, you know, each game they just need to keep getting just a little better, a little better, a little better,
but
and hopefully
but
by
it
the end of the
wasn't their
season.
fault.
But
It
if
it
you
was
let
it
Georgia,
was not the defensive fault this
but
time.
if you let Georgia Tech run up and down the field and not picking up the running back running wide open out of the backfield, that's kind of on the defense fault though, and that's
Did,
kind of been a defensive story all year. They have allowed teams for the most part, not all time, but for the most part, they have allowed teams to move the ball up and down the field. It's like once an opponent finds out what works against them, they will continue to run it over and over and over again. And it's like North Carolina has no answer for it.
Yeah, but even still, though, in this game, I'm not going to put this on the defense. They allowed 3 touchdown drives. 3 touchdown drives. Okay. North Carolina's offense should have been able to put up more points, more than 21 points.
Right.
I'm not going to put this all on the defense. The defense didn't go out there and throw an interception to Georgia Tech. Hell, the defense even picked off Georgia Tech's quarterback, and the next possession, the offense turned it over on downs.
Yeah. Now of course Drake May ain't have his standard Drake May type of game. I will give you that. It by comparisons, when you just looking at the numbers, you was pretty much think that he just had an awful day. I know he didn't have no touchdown passes or no rushing touchdowns. He had
He
the
should
one
have.
interception. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, he had a bad game. He had an off game, and the
Yeah.
receivers didn't step up. Even if Josh Downs was hurt, we still have enough offensive weapons from the receiving
Mm-hmm.
core, but they didn't step up. Antoine Green, I don't see him on here. We know what kind of game did Antoine Green have?
Shoot, much of nothing. I don't even know if he was even in the. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it don't look
Yeah,
like he
I don't
was
even think he
even.
caught a pass.
Yeah, I mean that's your number two receiver, Kobe Pace. Did he do it? No, it don't look like he caught a pass
No.
neither.
Mm-mm.
So I'm like,
Bryson Nesbitt, Blackwell, Josh Downs,
and Kamari
Morales, and Petaway.
Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
J.J. Jones
So
had one. DJ Jones had one. Um,
well,
Elijah
DJ
Green had
Jones might
two
as
for
well not even had
-5.
that one because he had -1 yards.
Yeah.
So so
But yeah,
that don't count.
I mean, and even in Drake May's interception, it really it really looked like he was expecting somebody to be somewhere where they weren't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when he threw that
Okay.
pick, he was looking like, wait a minute, you wasn't supposed to be there. You were supposed to be, over here.
Right.
Something. But then, that last possession that Tar Heels had, he gets them down the field, 4th down. He gets the ball where it should be, and Josh Downs just he drops it for whatever reason. He dropped it.
So what do you think? This is my last question. What do you
Mhm.
think is the defensive front's problem? Because again, Georgia Tech was playing with a third string quarterback and two
Mhm.
offensive linemen were hurt. We were still unable to get any sacks on Georgia Tech. We had 0 sacks and only 4 tackles for loss.
Carolina's defensive line just doesn't have any. They don't have any studs. Like they don't have any of those special talent players. Noah Taylor's out for the season, and what's my man name?
Desmond Evans,
No, not Desmond Evans. My man 51. I can't remember his name. Start with a V.
Vohorsic,
Yeah,
Ray
yeah,
Ray Ray Vohorsic. Yeah.
yeah. But they just, like my dad used to say, like they too light in the ass. They can't. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
got big Travis Shaw in there, and I think he does an okay job. But that defensive
Five-star
line,
recruit.
yeah, that defensive line as a whole just doesn't. They don't stack up. They don't bring it.
Right.
They they
Exactly.
they they
Yeah.
they really don't. And and to me all year long, it seems that if Carolina doesn't bring the blitz and the blitz doesn't get home to the quarterback, they really don't get too much pressure on the opposing team's quarterbacks like that.
Right.
As
Right.
far
Yeah.
as them getting to the quarterback in the pocket while he's still going through his reads, trying to figure out where he's going to throw the ball, and then they get to him. Now,
Yeah, we,
mind you,
we have
you get
no
some
we have no 4-man rush. There's no
no,
4-man
none.
pressure up front. Yeah.
None, not consistently. You might
Right.
have a few instances this year where one may get through, but you definitely don't have that consistently every game.
Right.
It's just not there. You don't really have anybody big enough to set the edge. Carolina gets destroyed on edge plays as far as rushing.
Wow.
So yeah, it's hey, I mean they got to work with what they got, but like I said, the numbers that Carolina's offense has put up this season, okay, Drake May, Josh Downs, the whole room full of running backs.
Right.
I just I just did not see them only putting up 17 points and getting shut out in the second half by Georgia damn Tech.
Right. Right.
So yeah,
I agree
but
with you on that one.
I've rambled long enough on this one. So
Well, anything else?
that's nah. It's still a great day to be a Tar Heel, but they better get their shit together before NC State come calling. That's all I
I
got to
know
say.
that's right. I know that's right. Well, Tar Heel Nation, that would do it for us this week. This week's opponent is the Wolfpack of NC State University at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Join us this Friday, November 25th for Senior Day. Kickoff is at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, Tar Heel Nation, we out.